Hi friends, my name is Borrodante. Welcome back to the Mermaid Encounter. So this is where we at. A huge amount of comments, and specifically the ones with ideas for this one. Thank you, Franz, for that. Now let's do some notes that I'll forget to check on later. First thing is the body shape should be a lot more feminine for the mermaid. Number two is that either the kid should be smaller or the mermaid should be bigger, because the kid is literally just overall bigger than she is. I wonder how to make note of that though. I guess we'll make a mermaid bigger. I think it will look a lot more pretty and all. Now this thing is lame, and the shape of the bra should be better. Also, we should increase the size of the palm again, and I guess of these two. Someone also said that we should make the t-shirt red on the kid. I don't know why, but I really feel like keeping it subtle. That's why I chose blue, which is usually not my choice. I usually go with red t-shirts and everything. But it's like a lot more important to make a color contrast on the mermaid. And the kid has his own value contrast. It's good enough, like we shouldn't really spread colors like that. Let's just not have anything red in the scene, why not? One of the popular comments was about the change in the composition, like the original picture had a different mood, like it felt more sad and cozy or something. But I really feel like it's just more of empty than sad or anything. Like, I feel like this is something that was unintentional and that's why I'm trying to fix it. Anyway, it's just that I really feel like we should pay more space on the composition to the characters, to their dialogue, because otherwise it really doesn't work. It looks kind of weird, like maybe if this would be a page of a book, it would make sense. Like if here there would be text, then this would be kind of like cool for the book composition. But when it's just the story of a picture, we should really get closer to the characters and see what they're about. So that's why I really feel like we should change that. I'm not saying I'm 100% right about it, it's just my opinion. And I don't know, I want to go this way, so let's do that. So yeah, these are the main fixes for now. And then we'll just continue searching, trying to find ways to add more cool shapes. We'll continue with more of a loose, spotty, and not liney search for the shapes. Also, I'm thinking, let's actually spend a minute to talk about that. I was doing a little bit of a research that I think we should also make a separate episode for that. Like an episode of Burrow Study. The point is, I was trying to combine sketching and rendering in one solid organic process, which is something that I kind of assume that professional awesome artists do. In digital, you can't really do that in traditional. So I called it skendering, sketching plus rendering. It's just a concept, an idea of something we should search here. So the point is, we kind of assume what color the object will have initially, and we start painting with it by creating like a spot on one side, a spot on the other side, and shading everything. And making it soft, like some kind of a foggy, blurry ball that follows the shape of a final object as much as you can imagine it without any sketching to begin with. So you add as much details as you want, and then you create a new layer and actually start adding some sketching, but very accurately. Mostly just adding actual details on top of this blurry cloud of a shader. So it kind of works, but it needs a lot more work to actually make it work always with any kind of shapes, because this is the shape that I ended up with the last experiment, and it turned out really cool, but it's kind of a simple shape. It's really hard to tell if it's gonna work for something more complex, where we need to like really search a lot, very complex shapes. So let's give it a try with this mermaid. Let's make her bigger around her hand, so it wouldn't move anywhere. Okay, it makes sense. It makes Kid a lot more of a kid. And his hand should be a bit smaller than hers. Yeah, totally should go with this. Now, a couple of things here. We definitely should move this arm, this hand, to a separate layer. This is really stupid to go like this. Well, it's something that I kind of said in the first episode, but I still went with one layer because I just really wanted to go with one layer. In general, everywhere we should keep doing that, the one layer thing, but this should be just another one layer. Also, the whole search will kind of require 2 layers, the whole scandering idea. Yeah, I'm using my potato brush now. It felt pretty natural to work with it for scandering. If you have any ideas on a better name for scandering, please let me know. I mean, I really like combining 2 words in one like that, whenever I come up with any names. But when I do that, I usually die a little bit inside. So you may have noticed I also replaced some elements of the interface in Photoshop. That's what I usually do a lot when I procrastinate. So let's see, let's really pay attention to going a lot more loose and blurry, sort of. Even though we kind of defined a lot already, but the anatomy here is really lame, so... The whole idea of going with just a flat shape to begin with, when we define everything with darkest colors of air perspective, we do the same thing, we work really flat, but not with just air perspective, but already with the colors that we assume for the actual lighting. For the very final look of the lighting, with all the reflected lights, with everything, we need all those colors as a basic spot to use it as a color palette for future details. So this is kind of the idea that I'm going with. Although I feel like it's gonna be kind of hard to move from this a bit too defined shape to something blurry. Yeah, also there was more than one suggestion to add the reflection of the kid on the glass. I also had that idea in the first episode, but I cut it out in the editing. The problem is that the kid is really dark. His reflection won't be visible at all on such a bright background, so... We basically already added it, it's just invisible. It will look really weird if we add it. Like, if we will make it brighter than this background, it's gonna look really weird. So, let's blur out some details on her face and just keep this spot for the color reference. We do everything that we covered in the drawing to painting tutorial, only we do that a lot more in our head than just covering first one light, then adding the reflected light. We do everything at the same time. That requires some practice to actually make it work like that. So right now we're gonna have to spend some time of sort of rolling back. We don't really progress right now, we change our tactics. You see, I'm really like ruining the shape of this bra thing because it's really lame and I did not intend to go with this Disney Ariel shape of the bra. But that was the first thing that my hand came up with when I was just adding some spots, and that was wrong. That was too definitive when we didn't really have an idea of what it has to look like. So going backwards on that one for sure. So I'm quickly grabbing the color of the bright shoulder under the chin. Then I move it 45 degrees to the right and bottom like this. And I get my reflected light color. Quickly, no need to spend too much time on that. If it doesn't work, change something. That's a detail, we'll add these later. So yeah, let's add some subscattering effect, the translucency effect on the skin. I really didn't do that before. So this is a good time to make it right then. Someone said that the hair is not cool. I'm not really sure what that means. I mean, it kind of looks cool. It's really fast and drafty for now. Maybe I just should keep working on it and you'll grow to like it. But yeah, for now, I don't know, it's just long hair that's being all over the place underwater, so... The color, I really like it. I think we should more work on the color for the tail. Also, the shape of the tail should be a lot more alive or something, I don't know. So we'll change a lot on that. Nice. It's so weird, I don't know why I really like to first think through all the colors and then search for the shape more. Like, I was kinda happy with sketching thing, with the whole tiny line sketching and everything before, but I can't really stick with it for a while. It feels like I can do better than that, like, that is too much of a unnatural way to go with this. Like, we paint the same thing twice, basically, when we go with full sketching thing. Wow, she broke her hand. Why would you do that? Yeah, let's add some skin between the fingers. Let's actually mark that in right away. Probably semi-transparent, right? It's usually really thin. Let's spread the fingers more then. Oh yeah, with these kind of fingers spread like that, she looks a lot more animalistic, whatever. Cool looking. Yeah, and this one as well should be this way, the second arm. Also, yeah, bigger, right? I didn't make it bigger. Always try to make it the same size as the face. This is the rule of thumb. Also, another thing I just thought of. Kid should be a lot more surprised. He looks like, yeah, what's up, mermaid? Again. He should be all like, whoa, a mermaid. I don't know why his head is 10 times smaller, but yeah, more like that. I was really happy to copy the posture of the legs that are going backwards a bit to balance the shape. But really, that's the posture of a person who's standing really casually. And this is not the case for this situation. So I really want to push myself further with this painting. So I'm gonna be risking a lot with different things. I hope no one's going to be upset about it, that it might take a bit longer or it might not turn out super awesomely. But one thing I can say for sure, that I'll try really hard to push it to something really awesome. And that's what makes this whole thing fun, right? So I guess that's why it's really great for me to do stuff on YouTube, because I can share this whole constant process of the search that will tell a lot more than just the painting itself. I'm listening to the Stranger Things soundtrack right now. Fits really well. I feel like just blurring out other details because I really don't have anything to change much color-wise here. Or maybe we do. Let's add some brighter color on the top, right? Let's work a little bit with the values of the hair. Oh, there we go. Fixing values immediately ruins all the details. Just what we needed. So yeah, at first we work in like an 80-year-old grandmother mode. Trying to get the right colors, but details, we can't see that at all, so no point in trying. Really blurry brush with some nice fuzzy texturing on top. On it, not on top. Let's add some translucency to the hair. I think that makes sense, right? Especially when it's in this kind of condition, really spread around. It should show some translucency. So let's fog out a bit more the background hair, like it's going deeper to the back. That's why it's more in the fog, in the air perspective. I guess these stripes are in the detail area, so we'll add them more precisely later on the top layer. This is me trying to remove any anatomical details, because I really want to search that a bit better on the top layer. Now let's go through the tail a bit. Let's try to find a better shape for the tail, like for this part. It's just super round, kinda boring. It was a lot more interesting in the original, although it feels a bit snaky. I'm not sure how much the tail should do. Yeah, the fish does go just roundly bent when it goes sideways. the way our fish goes here. Which is, as one of the fronts pointed out, is a lot more of a fish kind of nature for this mermaid. Like, usually mermaids are visualized waving their tails vertically, but actual fish goes like this. So, makes sense to do that if we want her to look not too human. One main thing about any approach you choose to render or draw is not to rush anywhere. The faster you go, the slower you'll get there. Because fixing is a lot worse than just doing it right once. It will take a lot more time, even if you go kinda slow when you do it correctly. Okay, let's make the kid a bit more fuzzy. Right, the pose. Let's fix that. There we go. Done. And let's blur out the whole background a little bit. That's basically, there's no need to go any more detailed, I think. Yeah, kinda like that. Let's maybe scratch it a little bit with a texturized brush, so it wouldn't feel neglected. Okay, I think this is a great start for this approach, the scandering approach. Seriously, we need a better name. We'll continue in the next episode, like right away after this one. I just have to finish this one because I know I've been talking forever. So yeah, I'm gonna end this here. You tell me what you think on this stage. Maybe you point out something better about the whole idea or the scandering thing, but I'll continue painting right now, so yeah, keep that in mind. And I thank you for watching if you did. I guess you did if you're here. Leave a like and subscribe, tell a friend. Scander. Do whatever you want. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Man, this got such a cool depth of field effect because I blurred the background. We might want to push it further, but it's always a struggle. Should we go with details or with photorealistic effect? I don't know.